Hey guys, it's Garrett again with Dr. Muscle and back for another review. Today we're going to look at the app called ProFit Workout Planner. So I want to check it out, see just how pro it is. So again, right off the bat, ProFit is really kind of your basic workout program. You log in, it asks you a series of questions. All of those questions, it provides you with a personalized program. And as you work out, it tracks your weight, so on and so forth. On the other hand, it also provides 9 pre-written programs. There's 3 for beginner, 3 for intermediate, and 3 for advanced. At first glance, programming looks pretty good. Nothing too flashy, but no huge red flags. I kind of looked at your basic standard workout app. However, when I downloaded and started using it, I started noticing some problems. So the very first problem was merely some of the wording they used. When I logged in, when I created my account, it asked me, are you a beginner lifter, intermediate lifter, advanced lifter? Totally normal question, nothing wrong with that. However, the way they described these were a little odd. They described beginner as someone who doesn't work out often, an intermediate, someone who works out sometimes, and then advanced, someone who works out all the time. That's describing the frequency of the week. Like how many times per week do you train? Or how often do you train? It has nothing to do with your fitness level, or we call it your training age. Your training age is basically legitimate resistance training, how far along has your body adapted, so on and so forth. And so for someone new, that might not really seem like a big deal, but for me, it's a huge deal because you're asking someone to find their training age based on how many days a week they want to go to the gym. And so you could have someone who's never been to the gym, they want to go 6 days a week, and they're going to give them an advanced program. Other questions that I thought was like, do they really think that's what make an advanced lifter, a beginner lifter, a lifter, their frequency? Because the questions asking is using the wrong definition, so it's very hard to even answer what they're looking for. I question how accurate. So right at the bat, I question the programs they provide. How accurate are they for the person who's filling out the information? Another issue that might seemingly seem small, but I feel is a bigger issue, is some of the exercise plans are divided by lose weight, get fit, and increase muscle mass. And when you're looking at the program, pretty much everything is the same. Started looking at them closer, I saw that they use things like supersets and circuit sets. I saw that the only difference was the use of supersets and circuit set. To lose weight, they use more circuit sets, so more exercises in a row. For get fit and tone muscle, that's what it is, tone muscle, they use supersets. And then for increased muscle strength, they didn't use any type of special set. A few issues with that is they are seemingly falling into the trap of they changed their workout program to lose weight, to burn more calories. There's a lot of reasons why I feel, and most professionals feel, this is incorrect. First of all, your main source of weight loss or weight gain is going to come from your nutrition. Any extra calories that you burn from changing your program is going to be negligible. The real issue is that you're basically forfeiting those few extra calories for using optimal reps and sets and exercises, muscle growth, or to preserve muscle. And for increased muscle strength, they don't use anything. When in reality, supersets are one of the more popular special sets that bodybuilders do use because they want to add that extra volume, that added hypertrophy. So again, it might not seem like a big deal, but when you start to dissect it, it shows a very amateur level of fitness programming. One of the major programming issues is they fail to hit the muscles twice a week. Again, this is more of an opinion base, but again, this is the growing lead thought. They still manage to hit the muscles only once per week. And what really perturbed me is one of those days with the biceps and triceps. It's a very amateur level. It's a very amateur thing to do. To be clear, you're hitting your quads and your glutes, these big, massive muscles, your lats, the same amount as you're hitting your biceps. And actually, your biceps are getting more work because you're hitting your biceps when you do your back anyways. So they basically waste a day in your biceps and triceps rather than using this optimal frequency twice a day. When you go to 6 days a week, they still waste one day on biceps and triceps. And they do train the shoulders and chest twice a week. They have a light day and heavy day. So that just makes me wonder, why would you not do the same thing with your back and legs? When it comes to exercise order, basically when you're programming your session, you're going to have your largest exercise at the top, which basically your heaviest. So like your squats, presses, stuff like that. And then as you go down, you get smaller. And at the same time, usually your heaviest weight, your 90 percentile, 85 percentile, that's at the top. Then as you go down, you're increasing rep schemes, doing more hypertrophy work. Again, these are general guidelines. It doesn't have to be like that. There are circumstances you might change it, but when you're writing a program a general program, like you should stick to the basics. A lot of the programs program using 8 reps, then you'll do 6 reps, and then you'll go back to 12 reps, and then 8 reps, and it's kind of all over the spot. Another one, this caught my eyes on your arm workout. They do have close grip bench press, which I actually do like for my triceps. However, that's obviously the biggest exercise in that session, and they have that like down like the 3/4 down, so towards the end of the program. And then another thing wasn't as big of a deal, but it caught my eyes. Their exercise selection when doing supersets. So, and what they would have is they would have like a bent over row with a Australian row. That's two things why that's not optimal. Is one, those exercises use basically same biomechanics. Okay, if you're doing bench press, you're right here. If you're doing dumbbell press, same movement. Same thing with rows, except you're upside down with the Australian row. And so you're not really doing a new exercise. Biomechanically speaking, your muscles aren't really going to be able, your body's not going to be able to really tell much of a difference. Secondly, they're both big compound exercises. You're not getting that extra variety which supersets are built to do. There's little variation while adding hypertrophy to it, adding more volume. So example, what I would have liked to see is a bent over row with reverse fly, bench press with dumbbell pullover, something like that. You're still hitting those muscles, but you're using a little bit different movement pattern, and you're also using like a bigger exercise than an isolation exercise. Again, not as big of a deal with all three together. Again, it just comes off as very amateur. And so those are the main problems I did see. Another kind of bigger issue is when I was looking at their 9 pre-written programs, they're pretty much all the same. I didn't really see anything that was like vastly different between all of them. Some other like kind of smaller issues I saw this, which is one of my pet peeves, which is why I talked about it, is for the circuit sets, they had like really horrible exercise selection. Not the exercises per self, but they were all kind of like machine based. And that's a problem because it's very poor gym etiquette to go to a public gym and hold up 4 different machines so you can do your circuit. That's kind of like gym etiquette 101. Other than that, there were some other things like I did like the exercises, these, your typical barbell exercises, which I'm a fan of. The rep scheme, like I said, could have been better. If you had a beginner and they didn't know what they're doing, you could go and use ProFit and make some progress, but the progress wouldn't be optimized. Could potentially learn bad habits. So all in all, not horrible. Not a horrible app. It could definitely work. I think there's a lot of much better options out there. And one other thing to note is if you're looking for strength, ProFit's not the app for you. There's very little to minimal to no strength training on the app. The heaviest it ever goes down to is 6 reps. When we're doing program 6 reps, that's like at the lightest end of the strength spectrum. Some people don't. This is getting into semantics and like very minute points. Some people won't even say 6 reps is strength training. And while that's all debatable, we do know that you need a lot more volume down. We need a lot more volume in that strength rep scheme. However, one exercise in that 6 rep range isn't gonna be optimal, especially if your main goal is strength. But you should also be venturing down farther. Work up. Use the 90%. Do some heavy singles, something like that. And so, if you are looking for a program that's truly going to optimize your training, I would 100% tell you to go check out Dr. Muscle. They have risk-free trial, and what I like about the risk-free trials, you literally don't have to give them your credit card number. You can just go in and start, and then after 2 weeks, it tells you need to do this, so and so. But one of the things I hate is doing a free trial, then forgetting you lose money, yada yada. There's none of that here. So there's literally no risk in going to try for 2 weeks. But Dr. Muscle is written by actual exercise scientists. So with that, your programming is going to be spot on. Your exercise selection, your rep scheme is going to be spot on. You're not going to have any of those problems that we talked about with ProFit. I can guarantee that the programs it does give you are truly personalized, uses an AI system that generates a program based on your answers to the questions it gives. A lot of apps say they do that, but it's really pre-written programs that it just picks like the best out of 10 that's most accurate. This truly does alter the program depending on what you say. And more importantly is that it is that it adapts to your training, your progress as you grow. So it's not just one program, you do it, and then you stall out, then you have nothing else to do. Dr. Muscle will adjust your training, whether it's exercise selection, frequency, rep scheme, all that stuff. It does that as you grow, just like a real trainer would do. That's why I say it's like a trainer in your pocket. So again, I think Dr. Muscle's clearly the better option. For the person who's serious about their fitness, and they're tired of trying this app and that app, they want one app that's going to last them, Dr. Muscle is the best way to go. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll see you again.